funeral in the valley. The grandchild runs toward the rock wall beside the one-lane mountain road, pondering how to ascend. 50 cars bumper to bumper along the river, drivers and passengers milling about as construction hats stand apathetically. An elderly man with dusty high-water pants compacts the trash with his broken cane as his eyelids slip away from his eyes. 8 empty chairs sit under a tree in front of an empty grave. The wind blows casual conversation along the gravel path, words falling at the feet of distant family members. She hands off the worn photo album of his empty life to snap fresh images of his death. When I die, don't do any of this shit. Just take my ashes and spread them in a field or something. The box of ashes sits on an astroturf plank at the foot of an apprehensive preacher. Born 11/27/1930. A pouting child sits at the grave of strangers. Mr. and Mrs. Helmick are comfort to rebellion. What do we call this man who we bury? Father? William? Stranger? Why do we bury this man who we don't know how to call? 4 grown children, placid faces worn, either in eternity with the Father, or he's already spent 45 days in hell. There are only 2 scenarios, the eldest firmly speaks. Leather boots and tattoos lead the prayer to the beats of the sobbing sister. Youngest daughter of the bitter, now burnt man. I have no family. The dying man lied to a nurse in the deserts of California, yet his family now sits empty of emotion and robbed of memories. Requests for kind words and fond images are met with silence and superficial anecdotes. 2 young men set free by bicycles given by a distant father. $180 a month, 40 spent on groceries alone. As he stirred the chili, he smiled. Dad, that's the first time I've ever seen you smile, a stranger says. We don't want to do wrong things, but we do wrong things, the elderly woman speaks through spectacles and permed perfume. He once lifted a bloody child that he did not know over a fence, but he never held his youngest, whom now weeps at his grave for memories she does not have. He once drove a Plymouth, green with the golden roof down the streets proud. If I was your favorite, why didn't I know you? She sobs on the shoulder of her older sister. Breakfast planned and ride arranged, a daughter up early and waiting by the road for a ride that left before the son or daughter were awake. Hi, honey. Do you know who this is? A voice would say through the receiver. Yet the voice of a telephone operator keeps a first grader patient after school in a fatherless home. I forgive him for 1979.